Multibeam Data Processing second video. In the first video, I demonstrated how to use AutoPatch utility from BeamworX software for patch test data processing. And the result of patch test is 3 offset angles for roll, pitch and heading. Now we will proceed to the actual data processing. We will use these 3 angles to get good data, aligned data. So let's start the next software utility. It is called AutoClean. New project. And I will call the project MBES demo. Here we need to select cell size. For high resolution surveys, we can use some small number. These values are in meters. And it is very important to select the coordinate reference system for the project. If you forget to select the right coordinate system, it will be possible to change it later, but it will not be very easy. So it is better to check that you have selected the right coordinate system here right away. The next step is to add raw data files. Next, here we need to create or select the survey configuration file. The simplest option is to create it from the first data file. Here AutoClean asks us where to save the vehicle configuration or survey configuration file. And it is very important that we immediately edit it. The first thing we need to change is sound velocity handling. We will not use ray tracing. And the second thing we need to do is verify again that the geodetic settings are correct. Just check that here it shows the same value you chose for the project settings. And lastly, here we need to enter the right offsets for roll, pitch and heading, calculated as the result of patch test. If you have the AutoPatch utility open, you can simply copy offsets from there. Or you can copy numbers from the calibration report. These same numbers. Then click OK, Next, and Finish. So, what we see here are our survey lines and points. These are the real measurement points on the bottom. And we can start processing. First, we can add a map here to the chart view. Right-click, View Properties, and here we can add the map to the list of layers. If you have a high-resolution map in the form of a geotiff, you can add your geotiff here. We will add Google Maps and click Apply, or better to use satellite or hybrid. we can see that our data is in the right place. What's next? Again, right-click and select Place Inspection Area here. You can move the inspection area, you can change its orientation, or you can change the size. And in general, if your survey area is not very big, you can set size of the inspection area equal to your entire dataset. When you place the inspection area, in the 3D view, you will see the 3D representation of your measurement points. And here in Slice view, you will see a slice of the data over this line. You can move the slice here, or you can move the slice there. Also, you can change the width of the slice. Let's look at the data in the 3D view now. First, you can remove some noise in or around the data. It can be useful to increase the point size to make the points visible. Holding the right mouse button, you can select the points to delete and delete them. The second step is to remove the points outside of your area of interest. Here it might be useful to disable the map to have a cleaner background. And now we can see that we have some excess points here. We can remove them if we want. Adjust the inspection area. And select the Reject Points option in the Edit menu, outside of inspection area. Also, if you want to delete points outside of an area with an arbitrary shape, you can use this tool. Reject area by mouse in chart view. The next step will be to filter the data. In BeamworX, there are a lot of predefined filters. We can use the Show Preview checkbox to see how the filters will work. If the quality of the data is good, it is possible we will not even see any significant changes. Okay, let's try to apply a filter. The filter that we will apply is selected here. We want to apply it to the entire survey. There don't seem to be any changes, but we can play with different filters. For example, here we have obvious outliers. Let's try to delete them. Coarse filter group. isolated clusters. We can see in the preview that they are deleted. Okay, disable preview, and let's apply this filter. The next step will be data interpolation. We will need to interpolate because you can see a very variable density of points on the bottom. As a very quick method, you can use the interpolation command from the edit menu. For the entire survey or for inspection area. This search range is definitely too big. Let's try a smaller search range. The result is not that good. This means we need to use a bigger search range. Actually, the search range is in cells, so we can use a bigger value. Almost all gaps are filled, and in most cases it will be enough. But if you want to get really good looking examples, or representation of your data, for example for your customer, you can use another method of interpolation called digital interpolation. So edit, digital interpolation. Here we will use all default parameters, start interpolation. This procedure can take a very long time, especially for bigger surveys. While the interpolation is running, let's recap what we have seen so far. In the first video, we looked at how to perform a patch test and process the data for the patch test. The end result of the patch test was a vehicle profile with 3 offset angles. In this video, we imported our data, set the correct coordinate reference system for the survey location, and applied the vehicle profile we obtained using the patch test. We checked that the data shows up in the correct location on the map, and performed some basic cleanup. Now we are interpolating the data to fill the small gaps that are always present in every correctly planned survey in a natural environment. The interpolation has finished now. We don't see any gaps in the data anymore, but it looks like we need to cut some more data here. Here, to have more accurate results. So I will move inspection area outside and use the reject area tool. You can clearly see that this was the wrong approach in this case. But luckily there is undo. So actually we need another tool. Select area by mouse. Select the area. And edit, reject points, and selected area. And I can remove this area. You can see that we could have removed a little bit more, but for this demonstration it is not necessary. So let's return our inspection area back. And if we are satisfied with processing results, actually we are finished here. We can move on to exporting the results. So File menu. The most often used export types for multibeam data will be point cloud and elevation data. So again, File menu, Export Grid, and for entire survey. Or you can export some part of your survey data. Select File. This will be the file name of the multibeam point cloud. Select File Format LAZ to get a point cloud and click OK. Also, we can export the grid in the format of elevation data. I will change the name of the file to MBES Digital Elevation Model. And OK. And I will also export elevation data, but in the form of a colored TIFF. Because it is very convenient, for example, to insert a picture into the project report. So, what we have here is we have 3 exported files. Point cloud, TIFF file with digital elevation model, and an image of digital elevation model. Let's open the image. And we will see it is the same as in our project. If we remove the track, yes, absolutely the same. Elevation data is standard elevation data in the format of a GeoTIFF. You can import the data into any software which supports GeoTIFF elevation data. And the point cloud is just a standard point cloud. It can be imported into any point cloud processing software. I will open this file in LiDAR 360. And again we see the same. That is all for the second video.